Hey viewers, Alan here. Welcome back to my workshop. Now, I expect regular viewers and subscribers will already have noticed there's something weird happening. If you look over my shoulder, there's something missing. So what's going on? Well, in a very short video, let me explain. Okay, so it's machine moving day. I've had this Victoria mill for a good 8 years, I think, and it's been really a very good machine. But a few years ago I bought the turret mill and basically haven't used the horizontal or vertical, well actually it's a universal mill, much since. So I decided I've got a better use for the space in the workshop than it's occupying. And today, and I've sold it, so today's the day when we part company. Or at least that's the plan. I'm expecting some professional movers that the buyer has organised. So last look round, and she's on her way, hopefully. So the move was done by an Adelaide company, Falcon Cranes, and they used, I think the correct name for them is a telehandler, but they're a four-wheel steering, rough country sort of forklift thing, and they're pretty impressive with their manoeuvrability, and so it was a really easy task for the driver to pick up the milling machine. I think these machines are rated at well over 2 tonnes, maybe 3 tonnes, I don't know. But anyway, it certainly made easy work out of this job. So I'm giving them a plug because I was very happy with the work that they did. But they're not a sponsor, and it's actually the buyer who was paying for them. But I'll be using them myself for any future machine move, because it was just so easy to do. It just went very easily. So obviously the machine was blocking the road for a little bit, but thankfully it's a fairly quiet street, and it didn't seem to cause any grief to anyone. So she's gone, and I got some space. It's going to make it easier to move the other machines around. So, with the milling machine gone, there was plenty of room to use my lifting gantry and pick the lathe up and move it to a position where it should be easy to back a trailer underneath it. So there's plenty of scope for moving the lathe sideways to position it in the middle of the trailer, but I'll leave it like this until the trailer gets here. I think no point moving it unnecessarily, because whilst the lifting frame can manage the 1700 kilos, it's not easy to move it when it's got 1700 kilos hanging on the hook. So basically we have to move it in bites within the degrees of freedom that the gantry provides, and then reposition, and so move over in bits. But it wasn't that hard. I did it on my own, so it can't have been that hard. I'm not that strong these days. So the idea here is to raise the lathe high enough that the buyer can back his tandem trailer under it. That's the way he wants to do it. So with a bit of effort, I've got it sitting up on blocks about 300 off the ground at this stage. And I won't go any higher until the trailer gets here, so I can see what height the load platform is. I expect it will be a bit more than 300, but it took a long time winding it up to that height, a little bit at a time. So when he gets here to pick it up, we'll save a couple of hours probably that we've got this far with it. Anyway, that's where we're at. Okay, well, as you can see, she's gone. The much younger chap than me that bought it was happy to do the levering on the lever hoist, and we went up from the 300 I had it sitting at to the required height, which I think was about 470, something like that, without messing around with more blocking. So he arrived at 7 and he was out the door at 7:45 with the lathe in his trailer. So it couldn't have been easier. Okay, so I've had a tidy up, found some new homes for things. For example, the pallet jack there, which was under the grey milling machine, is now found a home under that shelf rack. That works out rather well actually. And I think the space where that red pushcart thing is at the moment, I might yet put a larger work table there as a permanent home for the surface plate and other bits and bobs. The bandsaw, now it's on that mobile platform, doesn't really matter where that stands. I can easily move it to wherever I want to use it, so that's not a problem. But to the elephant in the room, why have I gone to all this trouble? Well, as I said, with the grey milling machine, I really wasn't using it enough for the space it was taking, to justify the space it was taking up. But the old lathe was really starting to annoy me a little bit. It was still doing good work, but it was noisy, and accuracy was a bit of an issue with it, repeatable accuracy at least. So I decided that I would really like to have something a bit better. And about a month ago, my wife asked me what I would like for Christmas, and I thought, well, might as well ask. I said, well, I'd really love a lathe. Well, my dear wife doesn't have any understanding of machine tools. They don't interest her, so she had no understanding of how expensive they would be. So her initial reaction was, well, that'd be nice. You spend a lot of time in the workshop, and that's all time when you're not in my hair. So things were going swimmingly until the question of price came up. Then the conversation changed a little. But once it was understood that we weren't going to have to sell the house to do it, I got a cautious nod to do something. Well, that's all a bit of a tease, isn't it? But Christmas isn't far away, so you haven't got long to wait to find out what's going on. But in the meantime, please let me wish you and your families and friends a happy Christmas and safe a festive season. I'm not a religious person myself, but it doesn't stop me enjoying some time off and spending time with family and friends. So hopefully things will work out well for you, and you'll be able to rejoin me again after Christmas and in the new year. So cheers.